Hey guys, I did a story a few days ago on a guy who was the spouse of a Texas deputy, and he put a guy in a chokehold, and the guy died of asphyxiation or from the chokehold. There's an update to this story. I'm going to tell you what the update is today. But before I get to that, if you haven't seen the other video, I'm not going to have you go watch it. I'm just going to give you a quick review here of what happened and then give you what the update is. So what happened was there was this guy named John Hernandez who allegedly was urinating in public, and there's a Harris County Sheriff's deputy named Chana Thompson, whose husband Terry Thompson was waiting for her outside of a Denny's in Sheldon where he was going to meet her. Terry sees this guy Hernandez urinating in public. He goes up to him, yelled at him to stop. A physical altercation ensued, and somehow Terry ends up on top of Hernandez, gets him in a chokehold. There's a picture of Chana when Hernandez's arm is outstretched. Well, of course, he's choking to death. Her knee comes down on his arm, and on the picture, her knee is on his arm, while Terry lays on top of him with him in a chokehold where he passes out from choking. Then they say that Chana performed CPR on him, which was not successful. He died from that. Some people are saying that, well, Hernandez threw the first punch. That's irrelevant to me. It is. You don't choke somebody to death because he's peeing in public and then gets pissed at you for yelling at him to stop and starts swinging at you. You don't put the guy in a chokehold and then kill him. But charges should have been filed on this guy. Maybe both of them, the husband and the deputy, but at least the husband. Charges should have been filed on him the moment he got off of that guy. They were not. He was put in the car, but no charges were filed. Well, today, not only charges have been filed, but today, a grand jury in Harris County, Texas, has indicted not only the Harris County Sheriff's deputy, but her husband for murder. A grand jury in Harris County, Texas, indicts her husband and her for murder in the deadly Denny's fight. Couple of things here, and some of you are going to say that I'm armchair quarterbacking here, like you're reading a story, you're looking at video, and you're looking at pictures, and you kind of say what they should have done. Or let me give you some qualification here. I'm trained in martial arts, in the art of Aikido, which is a predominantly defensive martial art, but I'm trained in Aikido. I'm also trained in control holds and use of force because I went through Texas's initial police academy, the basic police academy in Texas, 98, 99, circa 98. And TCLOS, Texas Commission on Law Enforcement Officers Standards and Education. I believe I got that right. I went through the police academy, I learned control holds, I learned use of force. I also have been trained in Aikido. My point of saying that is I'm not necessarily armchair quarterbacking. I'm speaking from educational experience and professional experience, hands-on experience, that when she had her knee on this guy's arm and her big, huge, fat husband was laying on his back, there was no reason to apply a chokehold. There was no reason to continue to hold the chokehold until he passed out. They could have put both hands on his head while laying on him. That's enough to hold him down and allow him to still breathe. That did not happen. Instead, they used a chokehold, which he asphyxiated from. He died. Now these two have been indicted for murder. Now, it doesn't say they were indicted for negligent homicide nor manslaughter, because, just to give you a little insight, there are levels. There are murder 1, murder 2, voluntary manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, and negligent homicide. It says they were indicted for murder. So I'm guessing that that's the top. It's for murder. It's not for any of the other ones. I'm pleased with this. It's nice to see that justice might be done, because regardless of what this Hernandez guy does, regardless of what this Hernandez guy did, according to the story, he was urinating in public, and even if he started swinging and said, "I'm going to beat you up," or whatever to this guy, the guy could have ran backwards and said, "Stop, stop. Not only that, the guy was laying on top of him. He's a big dude. And this Hernandez guy doesn't really look all that big. So, I don't know. I'm not going to beat this, around and around. I'm not going to harp on it anymore. I want to know from all of you, one, if you agree that murder charges should have been brought, that they should be indicted for murder, or two, if, hey, if the guy did start swinging on this guy and he was peeing in public, I mean, he kind of brought it on himself getting put in a chokehold. One, if you think they should be indicted for murder. Two, if you think, well, it just kind of he brought it on himself. I say one myself. I'm going to give you my opinion. One, these people should be indicted for murder because having been trained in police academy and knowing controls and use of force, I can tell you what this husband of the deputy did was wrong. He incorrectly applied a chokehold and he committed murder. That's in my opinion. I want to hear from all of you. This is the real Jimmy Hens. That's right, I keep it real for you.